that's probably going to be a hot spot for the kids as soon as they're born. You know, if you guys have goats, or if you ever seen goats, they love playing on stuff like that. So what's going on, YouTube? Kevin here at Hidden Heights Farm, and today we got some work to be done. So if you guys have been following the channel, you know that our black Spanish goats are fixing the kid here in just a couple of weeks. And if you look around me here, I'm out here at their barn and in their big pasture, and this grass is crazy, getting crazy tall. You guys know the rain all over United States has just been coming down like crazy this spring, and with rain comes grass and everything else, so it's actually a blessing. But we're fixing to have those kids born, and we got to get in here and mess with the goats and make sure everything's okay with their birthing and everything else. Well, we've never had these Spanish goats before. This is our first year that we've had them, and when they start to kid, they like to hide in the trees and stuff. They're kind of got a wild instinct. They're supposed to be really great moms, we'll find out. But we want to be able to kind of see them, and when they come to the barn at night and in the evening time or in the morning, we want to be able to keep an eye on these kids. So this grass behind us is really tall. It's almost as tall as the goats. So with that being said, I'm not going to get the tractor out for this, because it's just this little area right here that I want to keep mowed. I want to give the goats somewhere to bring their babies out of all this tall grass. They like the tall grass when they have babies because they like to hide them from predators. And as you know, we do have an Anatolian Shepherd livestock guardian dog that we keep in here with them. But with that being said, we want to be able to keep a good eye on the babies. And with this grass being this tall, you can't do that. So like I said, we're not going to bring the tractor in here with the brush hog. We're going to go get the bad boy and try to knock this area down right here and along the barn. They just can't keep up with the grass this year because of the rain we've been getting, which is a good thing. We don't have the numbers in this pasture to keep it maintained at a low level. So with that being said, they have tons and tons of grass to eat this year, but we want to be able to keep an eye on the babies. So I'm going to get the bad boy and try to knock this area down real quick so we can have plenty of space for them to bring their babies out of the tall weeds if they want. And it's up here by their water as well, by the stock tank, so they'll probably want to frequent this area. And there's a good shade tree over here by this little lean-to shed. So let's go get the lawnmower in here and try to get this grass cut. Alright guys, so I got a pretty good sized area mowed for them. I think the moms will appreciate it. They can come up here, bring their kids up here out of the tall grass, you know, and we can work with them a little bit. Don't have to worry about the chiggers and ticks or snakes so much. And their fresh water up here at their stock tanks up here as well, so I think they'll really appreciate it. And if you can see that dirt pile right here behind me, that's probably going to be a hot spot for the kids as soon as they're born. you know, if you guys have goats, or if you ever seen goats, they love playing on stuff like that. So I'll try to get the goats here in a minute. They're way back here on the west side of our pasture, but as soon as I get back up here, I'll try to get them on video. But as you can see, this is knocked down now. It's not perfect like a lawn because it is a pasture still, and I raised the deck up quite a bit so I didn't tear my lawnmower up. But we got 3 inches of rain coming again, like tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. And our lakes and rivers in Oklahoma are already at pretty much full capacity. I don't know if you guys have been following the news, but the Arkansas River's so flooded that the Neosho River, that is what we live on, the Neosho Grand River, has a couple lakes in this area on it. And we actually have the dams shut down to where they have all their floodgates closed because the Arkansas River can't handle any more water. So I wanted to go ahead and get this mowed. I know it's a couple weeks out before the kids start coming from the Spanish goats, but it's supposed to be raining and be wet again, and I had a perfect chance today to do it, so I got it done. Hey guys, so I'm out here at one of our beehives, and I don't know if you guys can see this behind me, but these bees are going crazy. I think they're swarming, so I'm going to keep a close eye on them and wait for them to swarm if that's what they're doing, and try to capture them and put them back in another nook until I can get another hive set up. Alright guys, so I'm back. As I just got done mowing, I was closing the gate to get the lawnmower out of this pasture here, and I look over because I heard something over by the beehives, and they were just a cloud of bees going crazy. So I thought that's what they were doing. They were swarming, so I waited a little bit, and sure enough, they swarmed up in a tree. Check out tomorrow's video on the outcome of what happened there. I think you guys will like that. I'm gonna try to get these goats up here. I just fed Daisy. This is our Anatolian Shepherd I was talking about. For those of you that are new to the channel, this is Daisy. She's 2 years old. She's fixed, so she can't have babies, but she is our guard dog that we keep in here in the pasture with the black Spanish goats. And I see they're hanging out over at the pond, so let's walk over there and check them out. Well, you know, girl, she's a very good guard dog. Loves her goats. And they seen me and they come running. So some of these mamas are getting pretty big. These are all first time mothers. None of these has kidded before. So a lot of times first time moms on these goats will have singles. But there are a couple that's pretty big, so I'm not sure. There's our herd sire right there. He's the one with the longer horns. He is the one that all these does are bred back to. But as I was saying, a lot of these are first time moms. They've never had kids before, and a lot of times they'll have singles, but there is a few that's a little bit wider than others, so there might be some twins or possibly a set of triplets coming. And this one right here is a friendly Spanish goat. Her name's Tiny. She was actually a bottle baby, and she was the first goat that out of these herd that we purchased. And so Tiny was a bottle baby. We purchased her from a lady online because we had some other baby goats born over in the pygmy herd, and we had a bottle baby, and she was by herself, and we didn't want her to be in the barn by herself. And so we found her online, talked to the lady, went and picked her up, and we decided we liked Tiny so much that we started researching this herd about these Spanish goats and just their parasite resistance and their hardiness to this type of terrain. And they're just an all-around easy to raise. I say easy to raise as long as you maintain your main health of your goats. These goats will thrive. They're very hardy, and that's why we chose to go with them. So she's our bottle baby goat. She's a lot friendlier than the rest of them. The rest of them are raised on a huge ranch down in Texas, where there's just a lot of, just like, it's not really desert, but it's just like barren land and mesquite trees, and these things just thrive down there. They don't feed them any grain or anything else down there, and they just thrive and do very well. So that's why we chose to go with them. And here in a couple weeks we'll see them start kidding and having some babies for us. So maybe this next year we might add some color. We might add a colored Spanish buck over in the pygmy herd, maybe. Try to add some color, and maybe breed some of these black ones to some color as well. But I'm gonna feed them real quick while they're over here in the barn. Excuse the light, I know it's kind of dark. So I know some of the viewers have noticed that one of our goats that are in this herd of these black Spanish goats, the one right here with the dot, right there, Tiny, she's kind of mistreated by these other goats. She's kind of an outcast because she was bottle raised. So she's very friendly to humans, and therefore the goats are like, why do you like the humans so much? You know, they're kind of scary. But I'm the one that feeds them every day, and they, you know, they're just not a type of goat that's raised around people all the time. I mean, if I come out here every day and lock them in here and petted them and such, they might tame down, but you know, we don't really care about that. We got our pygmies that are real friendly. So yeah, sometimes you'll see goats, all these other goats, be mean to her, and sometimes I have to feed her out by herself. But we normally don't feed them in the summertime, but they're fixing to start kidding, so we're just trying to make sure they're getting proper nutrition. They, you know, they got all the grass out there and everything, but this feed that I'm feeding does have medicine in it for coccidiosis, and you got to feed that for 28 days, get it in their system, and then that way the kids should be immune to it as well when they're born. But let's take a little closer look at these goats. So as you can tell, you can see her side in her bag, her udder from behind is kind of dropped down and starting to fill up. So she's not too far out at all from having kids. So I got out here early this morning while it was still pretty cool outside. Sun's out now, it's starting to warm up quite a bit. But we got this mowed, and this is just part of the preparation we do for kidding season out here. We did the same thing for the sheep last year, which I wasn't doing the YouTube videos then. But we try to keep it kind of cleanly mowed down. Not so much like a lawn, but just for a pasture, this will work great. You know, the kids come out here and want to lay down. That way we can kind of see them. The mamas bring their kids to lay down and get water. They don't have to trek through all this high grass that you see behind me. And that way we can kind of keep a better eye on them. So guys, I just wanted to share that with you today. That pretty much concludes the video. Check out tomorrow's video as well. Think you guys will like the bee video I got coming out. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that like button. We'll see you next time, guys.